Well, actually, about 5 years ago, I wrote a book called Intelligent Influence. It's a new framework on how people interact. One of the realities is, you've heard of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, emotional intelligence. But one of the things I discovered is that we're all products of our influence. Yet so often we don't pay homage to our influences, and yet the secret of success is really understanding your own influences so you can influence other people. Because the world has become more diverse, the old command and control is dead, that you really have to understand how to influence very diverse people from very different places, and there's a process to do that, and that's what we do. We help companies do that. But the amazing thing is we start out, there are 4 steps, and the first is influence awareness. We get people to understand how they've been influenced, and what happens is when you do a deep dive, you realize most people have never paid homage to the reasons why they do what they do. Whether they're in media or a camera, there's a reason why we do what we do. And so when you start there, you actually open people up to really talking about what influence weaknesses they have and how they can change their life to really maximize influence. Wow. That's a phenomenal question. What really is the surprise is that we do what we do, think the way we think, and accomplish what we accomplish because of influence. And that really all that exists is influence. And once you really understand that, it changes your view of the world, meaning that you can actually make anything happen because it's all perspective. And so, you look at how the media influences and how individuals influence. And once you understand your own influences, you realize, I have no limitations. I actually can change the world because of this influence model, especially with social media now, much more so than you could years ago. Vic has been a good friend for many, many years, and Vic is just an amazing publisher, someone is just an amazing person. So the Newark Bound magazine, I used to be I was the first executive director of the Newark Alliance, and got that organization to go, a collaboration between business and the community. And so then I was deputy commissioner of DCA and got into consulting. And then I was running a school. And one of the things that I discovered is that many urban students are suffering from something that I've coined called urban traumatic stress disorder, UTSD. Not PTSD, because it's not post. And I actually wrote an article in the first issue of PTSD magazine about this UTSD. And I've been interviewed a lot about that so often kids are struggling in school because the amygdala changes because they're dealing with gunshots and other things. They come to a safe school environment and they go back into it. And so out of that, I've really worked closely with them, and they've asked me to lead their Friends of PTSD Journal Foundation. Wow. To really try to help, because more people than we could ever imagine are dealing with real trauma, are dealing with real stress, and it's a growing issue. Well, one of the things, when I was at the Newark Alliance, we were trying to make Newark a destination city, to really try to make it really in some ways is a 6th borough. Because, you can get to downtown New York City quicker from Newark than you can from some of the other boroughs. And yet they really haven't taken advantage of that. And so I think with a lot of the leadership, I think with the magazine and other things, that it is a wonderful city. However, so many people don't really understand how special it is. So it has tremendous upside potential, and again, the magazine I think is a key part of that. Well, and that's a great question because 1, there's a great social life. 2, the entertainment, you'll get NJ Pack, you have the best entertainment in the world. 3, the geography, you can get anywhere. And 4, the people. So it's really not just one bet, but there's several best kept, and the food is outstanding too. In fact, I'm on my way to Don Pepe's restaurant for another fundraiser, so that's one of the iconic places in Newark. So it's a great, great place, and Newark Bound and PTSD Journal are just amazing publications. Well, this event is really one of the best events in New Jersey, and he's done these kind of introductions, coming out parties. Everything's first class, just amazing people. It's like a little Hollywood kind of gathering, and so there's tremendous networking to really talk about our love for Newark, our love for New Jersey, and some of the good things that are going on. And this event every year is just one of I already paid for a fundraiser, but I had to come here first before I went to another fundraiser.
That says something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as Newark continues to grow, one of the realities of the new economic world is that the young people who are coming up now are kind of shunning a lot of the suburbs and coming to the cities. And Newark is really positioning itself to be really ready for this next generation of cities being the cool place to be. They lost it for a little while, but it's coming back. And I think the magazine's perfectly aligned to really kind of take advantage of this new young generation coming into Newark. You have to, and again, I mean, you have to, and it's just great to see you guys here, because the reality is, kids grew up with video. I was joking with somebody, things change, and it's part of this influence thing, is that, people used to watch 30-minute videos, and then 15-minute videos, and 10-minute videos are too long. Now 30-second videos and everything's, it's amazing. And when you think of the influence model, you start to really see trends, and then you start to understand why trends happen. And sometimes the trends you see, people were going off a cliff, that there comes a point when it's kind of too condensed. But video is where you got to be.